is in session, ladies. Let's get into it. Oh my goodness. I have this body, my feminine natural body, that has the intelligence to create life. Even if my body will, hasn't, won't create a human life, I have an innate divine ability to create a life to any structure. I'm a divine conduit for transforming the quality of people's lives. I now open myself up to know the full potential to using my power, my yoni power. My hips play wild and true, being sincere to my convictions. I release all concepts and ideas man taught and conditioned me to think about my body, my yoni, my sex, my sensitivity, my intimacy, my kisses, and what it means to be sacred. I release and let go of all attachments, fears, old memories from my yoni, from my heart. I release all shame, disgust, man and woman made influencing ideas about my monthly womb cycle cleansing. I re-educate myself about my body. I'm interested in what moves it. I reintroduce my consciousness to every part of this body that holds my soul so beautifully. I'm so beautiful, it's ridiculous. I have my own kind and version of beautiful sexy. I have my own kind and version of beautiful sexy. I am my own kind and version of beautiful sexy. I have natural magnetism. I own and explore my purity, exotic femininity. I am empowered sensual soul. I am so deserving of loving and affection. I radiate intimate well-being. Let's kick the real quick. Look at me with this juicy game that brings pleasure, where worlds of men and women are brought forth, birthing all that is seen. I am a part of a community that gives souls and spirit bodies. Pause and rest in that truth for a minute. That's me, a woman. I affirm, I will dream, purify, mature, live, speak, nurture, and evolve her. I will learn and educate myself about her. I will feed us a healthy, nutritional, loving man that values and honors us. I will relearn and reprogram how I view you in a sacred way. I will love you. I will love you for the pleasure, life, creativity, and power you give me. I affirm I will choose better for you. I deserve pleasure. I deserve pleasure, for I am a galaxy home of pleasure. I deserve for my body to be worthy of deep intimacy, for I am symbol of deep intimacy. I deserve for my cleaning and healing sex, for I am such embodiment of healing and cleansing. I vow to nourish you with what you need. Girl, you got that good. I am so sexy and desire, and it feels so good. It's all about falling in love with myself and sharing that love with someone who appreciates me rather than looking for love to compensate for their self-love deficit. Is that all right? I'm sexy, I'm loving, I'm lit, I'm yawning, I'm pretty, I'm tasty, I'm loving, I'm sexy, I'm lit, I'm loving, I'm yawning, I'm wifey, I'm sexy, I'm pretty, I'm tasty. I'm so sexy, I'm so pretty, I'm so lovely. flaw. I share the room experience of all women. I share in her pain, her glory. I know we have been through so much throughout the ages, with care of family, mothers, fathers, men, word, information, spirit, and with ourselves. It is time for law to resonate in my consciousness, to be more sensitive to the higher being with all women, especially within myself. I became, so we become. My divinity is no conspiracy. The proof is in the design of my body. I vow to birth her. I stretch, I break, I split, I bleed, I stretch wide open to birth my true life forth. I am a well-equipped woman for love, duty, care, responsibility, nobility, skillfulness, talent, prosperity, and diversity in my womanhood. I release any addictions and ego dancing to over-functioning for love. I vow to embrace my call, not because of attachment to expected outcomes, but because it feels good to. I feel value for who I am to myself, not for what I do to be valuable to others. I vow to evolve my dependence to independence to interdependence. My power is renewed when I play for pleasure and not to just check off myself careless. Queens, while we wait, I invite you to put in the chat where you are joining us from. I am in San Jose, California. It is 88 degrees over here. How are y'all? Where are you? What's the weather like? All of that. So go ahead and let us know in the chat where you are coming from. I vow to release all dark, patriarchal programming. The power I wield is from the heart, not from towering over and taking what I can get from others. I vow to unlearn the belief that oversharing. I see Deborah, Miami, Florida, and it's raining or storming. Okay, thank you for coming out, Deborah. My virtual coach is also in Florida. She told me about the storms out there. All right, Gail Danielle from Jersey. It's raining now, 64 degrees. Of course, always sunny in Southern California, right, Tiffany? It never rains in Southern California. Maryland, kind of gray for crystal glass. I moved the time up for my East Coasters, so I hope y'all appreciated that because I know it's late for you. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too late. Oh, Tokyo, Japan. Okay, it's beautiful. 71 degrees. Nice. Gloomy in New York for Miss Jillian. We got Latrice out there in Tokyo. That's nice. Yeah, so apparently it's pretty gloomy on the East Coast, but hopefully we can help bring some light to your day today. I will be moving in and out of the slides because I think it's important for us to connect, and I don't just want to talk to slides. I want to connect to all of y'all. Let me see. We have one more message in the chat. Oh, much appreciated. right on. So just I want to tell you first, who am I, right? Who is this SharlaStevens and the Ancestors that invited us to this event? Why should we care, right? So I started off as an educator. I was in the schools. I was really dissatisfied with what's going on with the schools. And so I started my anti-racist consulting business. And I was able to grow my business to 6 figures in 10 months. I grew my LinkedIn following to over 13,000 in 2 years. I was a LinkedIn Black Voice to Follow in 2020, back when the Great Awakening happened and they were amplifying Black voices. It's kind of over now. I got over $200,000 in new contracts in my first year of business. Some of my past clients include San Francisco Unified School District, San Ramon Unified School District, St. Cloud University in Minnesota, Upward Bound, and then the Peace and Justice Center. I've been featured on over 15 podcasts, including Ebony's Black Power Moves, a Reva Martin special report, The Dr. Sharon Show, Black Mental Health Matters, and more. I was featured in Black Exhaustion, Karens, and Others Threats to Black Lives by Teresa M. Robinson. I'm a Howard University graduate, summa cum laude, go Bison, and I'm a divorced mother of 2 elementary school children.
And so tonight you will learn about the magic of melanated skin and how it increases our abilities to, physically, mentally, and spiritually. The power of menstruation to manifest whatever you desire. You'll learn about receiving messages from spirit guides, guardian angels, and loved ones through dreams. Strengthening your pineal gland, that is your third eye gland, and increasing your intuition and psychic abilities, and using your mornings to create magic throughout your day. So this is for you if you're ready to make 2022 your year. So if you feel like you've been holding back in any type of way or just not living in your truth, this is for you. If you've been feeling ready for the next step, like I know there's more, I know that there's something more for me, this is for you. If you need help prioritizing your wellness and practicing more self-love, and really I have yet to meet a Black woman who does not need that, this is for you. If you're excited to embrace your Black girl magic, this is for you. And if you want to be celebrated as a Black goddess you are, this is for you. You are in the right place. This is not for you if you are driven by fear. I know a lot of us have, we let fear take the wheel. So if you're somebody who's just scared and anxious, this is probably not for you. If you don't believe in Black girl magic, not for you, because we're very magical. If you don't support Black women, this is not for you. And if you don't follow through with your commitments. And the reason why I say that last part is because you're going to learn a lot tonight, but it's all about implementation. That's where the magic and the transformation happens. So don't just watch and go, oh, that was great. Like actually go do the things, because I'm invested in Black women being as well as possible. So I want you to be well, queen. How did I get here? So I used to be an overworked teacher. I used to overdrive to make ends meet, because even after, working a gazillion hours teaching, it's still not enough money. So I commuted 25 hours a week. I would get up at 3:30 a.m. and I would do about 2 hours of like self-development work. So this was before I was building my business. I was getting up super early to focus on my business, to meditate, do my affirmations. And then at 5:30, I would get on the road and I would drive for about 3 hours to get to my job. I hated life. Like when I think about that, I'm like, I can't believe that I allowed that to be my life. So I would be in one city for the work week and I would stay with my mom. And that was about 2 hours from where I lived. And so I would go home on the weekends, and on the weekends I would care for my aging father, and then I would spend time with my kids. I had my kids on the weekend. Overall, I was super stressed. I was unhealthy. I was depressed. I was broke. I had reoccurring chest pain because of the stress I was enduring. And I knew that my way of life was not sustainable. So, my question for you is, can you relate to any of these feelings? So, knowing that you're meant for more, but not knowing how to get there. Hearing God or spirit, whoever you identify, but tell me that I need to do more, but then feeling unworthy. Arguing with God about how I'm not qualified to fulfill her mission, right? So God's telling me to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but God, I can't because, and you know, X, Y, and Z. Feeling extremely out of alignment, just feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then knowing that the way I was living was not sustainable and that I had to do something. Always, or feeling that I would always be broke and money was hard to get and keep. So I am just going to stop sharing for just a moment and see, can anybody relate to any of those feelings? And also, if you just want to say something in the chat, you can also mention in the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you couldn't see me. I apologize, everybody. Here's my face. It's what I look like. So, can you identify with any of those feelings, with feeling stuck, with feeling like you're meant for more? Maybe you feel that God has been telling you that you need to do something, and you have felt that you're maybe arguing with God, like I can't do that. I'm not qualified to do that. Or feeling like frustrated with money, like knowing that you did all the right things, but you can't seem to like generate the money that you want or the time freedom that you want. Thank you, Coach Latrice. So yes, definitely been trying to navigate my next steps in my business. Absolutely. And here's another one. So I know a lot of Black women are very successful in what they do, but they don't like what they do, right? I feel like part of our conditioning is that we've been taught that the only respectable work is hard work. And if we have to not like it in order for it to be noble or worthwhile or worthy, instead of, really allowing ourselves to do what we enjoy. So that's a lot of what I was feeling. Let me go back to my share. This will be easy peasy. So I had success, but I did not have self-care, and that led to a depression. So I looked successful, of course, not in this picture, but I looked successful. I had over 13 followers on LinkedIn. I was working only 15 hours a week. I made over $100,000 from home. It was the most money I ever made in my life. But I felt anxious and I felt hopeless and I felt hated and hunted. And part of that was because I was immersed in diversity work or racism work. I was constantly looking at how dire it was, and that really affected my mental health. I was overweight, so I was about 20 pounds overweight in this picture. I was suicidal. I deal with different mental health issues. I had money and freedom, but I was scared to leave the house, and I didn't feel like my life was worth living. So for a lot of Black women, we know how to power through. We know how to look good. We know how to be successful, but we don't know how to tap back into our feminine power or feminine energy, because a lot of that is masculine energy, but we don't know how to tap back into our feminine energy. We don't know how to rest. We don't know how to take a nap. We don't know how to relax. We don't know how to ask for help. And we're dying as a result of that. So maybe you can relate to working all the time or feeling like you have to work all the time, rarely experiencing joy or fun, or feeling guilty when you do, rarely stopping to celebrate your progress or your wins, feeling unsupported, it's all on you, feeling unprotected, and feeling like you have to do it all or it won't get done. And then feeling guilty when you love on yourself. And then being hard on yourself and your family. So I'm going to stop briefly. So does any of that, oh, okay, you're speaking to my spirit right now. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm glad to know that I'm connecting, right? So for a lot of us as Black women, we're conditioned to sacrifice ourselves. We're conditioned to put ourselves last. We saw our grandmothers do it. We saw our mothers do it. And we're taught that that's what being a good Black woman is. It's self-sacrifice. It's, your joy, your pampering, your self-care is back burner. It's all about serving other people. It's all about keeping up appearances, keeping up with the masses. And it's very rarely do we take the time to really check in with, how am I doing in this moment? What do I need? What would feel like love to me? And so I was really recognizing that by the white patriarch standards, I was successful, but I really was not taking care of myself as a Black woman and really being honest about what I needed. And so what it cost me is I had to have this really heartbreaking conversation with my children. So that was the last picture you saw. That's my son, Maxwell. He's 10 years old. Oh, can you see? Yeah, you can see it. Great. So that's my son. This is my daughter, Nevaeh. She was, at the time, he was 9, she was 7. And I was having a conversation with them in the month of December about how I'm losing my battle with depression. They know that I deal with different mental health issues. And it was devastating. I mean, nobody wants to have that conversation with their kids, but I also didn't want to blindside my kids, right? I thought about if I was like terminally ill with like cancer, I would have a discussion with my kids rather than, just deteriorate. So I wanted to be honest with them about what was going on with me. And so that's what it cost me, right? My kids who I want to feel secure, I want them to be well, now are having to deal with the idea that mommy may not be here. And that's because I neglected to recognize the need for my self-care. And what happened, what transpired for me is I really started to think about what would happen if I ended my life. What would happen? And I started to listen to different people talk about their near-death experiences and returning back to the other side. And as I started to listen to more and more of those stories, I thought about going back to the ancestors and telling them that I failed my mission. And I had a real hard time with that. I didn't really have a hard time with like abandoning this world, because this world is, it can be cruel sometimes. But the idea of having to face the ancestors, knowing that I had so much more resources than they had, and yet I couldn't hack it, I couldn't do my part, was too much for me. And in addition to, as I started to think about spirituality and the afterlife, it took me down the rabbit hole of tapping back into a lot of the gifts that I have that I've taken for granted, because this again, the world doesn't value them, right? So for a lot of us, we have clairvoyant dreams, or maybe your grandmother, your mother, right? They have psychic dreams. I have psychic dreams. Some of us can see auras. Some of us can talk to spirits. We have magic, and it's not nurtured, it's not valued in our society. So a lot of times we dismiss it. And so I started to tap back into the parts of me that I've ignored that make life magical. And as I started to do more and more of that, I came back into myself. So Black Girl Magic saved me is what I say. I started to explore crystals. I started to do more rituals with the moon. I did forgiveness work. I started to pay more attention to my dreams, having more psychic dreams, like all the things, really just pouring back into myself, learning more about the magic of melanin, learning about manifestation. I mean, I already knew about manifestation, but really tapping back into it, right? So as a result, I launched a brand new successful business helping Black women. And that has been such a game changer. So, going from working with white folks who really just do not care about us and just working with them and doing work that was very painful to now working with Black women and uplifting them, showing them how amazing they are, showing them the magic they have, helping them create their businesses, like that work is life-changing. I love it. I love it so, so much. So I was able to launch a brand new successful business helping Black women, been very transformational. I lost 22 pounds without really trying, right? I posted this picture on LinkedIn as part of my, like, I don't care what the LinkedIn police have to say. And part of it was in celebration of I lost depression weight and talking about mental health issues because they're real. And a lot of times we don't feel like we can talk about them. I made $10,000 in 10 days and I beat a personal record. I was booked on Ebony's podcast. I attracted love, romance, and incredible friendships. I'm a more patient and loving mom. That is like one of the most important results of really pouring love into myself is that now when my kids ask me to do something, I'm present with them. I'm not caught up in my anxiety or my fears or my worries. I'm not snapping at them because I'm caught up in my fears, anxieties, and worries. I can actually be present with them and just spend time with them because I have the time, I have the energy, I have the resources, and I have the peace. I have the peace. And I feel so much better. I have been stable the whole all of 2022, which is great for those of us who deal with mental health issues. That's a big deal. So I feel like all of that, is what I contribute to that is the love I'm pouring into myself now. So we live with uncertain times, queens. I know you already know, right? We're dealing with the great resignation where a lot of us have resigned from our jobs and are saying, I'm not taking this anymore. I deserve better. We're dealing with inflation where prices are going up. Things are more expensive. Gas is, skyrocketing. We're dealing with the potential of people of the Supreme Court shutting down Roe versus Wade and the implications that's going to have on employment because a lot of women aren't going to return to the job sector because of that reason. Endless racism, right? They can't stop killing us. They won't stop killing us, right? The trauma and then the threat of war, right? All of those are factors that cause us anxiety. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. How you doing, Gay Danielle? It's good to see you. So all of that to say we need to be pouring massive amounts of love into ourselves. We need to be tapping into our Black girl magic because there are so many things that are trying to assault us in various ways. And when you think about Black women, we're currently, we're not rising goddesses. We're far from rising. We're grounded. So on average, the average Black woman who is an employee is making $40,000 a year. We have some of the highest level of stress-related health problems, and a lot of those are reproductive health-related problems like fibroids and breast cancer and ovarian cancer and cysts, et cetera, right? The average Black woman entrepreneur makes only $24,000 a year. So while Black women are starting their businesses left and right, we're not making any money. And I know that is a direct correlation to not feeling worthy, to not feeling in alignment with what is available to us, having these limited beliefs. And so $24,000 a year is poverty. That's terrible. We're the most unmarried women of any demographic. We struggle with high rates of obesity, diabetes, anxiety, mental health problems. Our suicide rate is climbing, and we're some of the least protected women on the planet. Now, all of this is depressing. I'm not going to stay here, but we need to assess where we are in real time, and we're not doing well. And a lot of that comes from not loving ourselves. We need to love ourselves so much more than we do. I wrote an article on LinkedIn about 5 strategies what Black women could use to love themselves right now. And it's urgent. It's urgent. So one thing so simple that you can do to love yourself is you can give yourself a hug. And just when you have a hard day, like instead of beating yourself up and saying mean things to yourself, like give yourself a hug, give yourself that nurturing and that soothing that the world doesn't give, unfortunately. So when you think of yourself as a goddess, you do goddess stuff. You think of terms of what would a goddess do, and that alone changes everything. So the next time you have a decision to make, think of it in terms of what would a goddess do. When you're ordering a sandwich, what sandwich would a goddess order? When you're getting your manicure, what manicure would a goddess get? When you're deciding about, whatever it is, whatever decision you might make, what decision would a goddess make? Because a goddess knows her boundaries. A goddess knows her value. She's not going to sell herself short. Go ahead and see what y'all are saying in the chat. Yes, true talk. Oh, hey, gay. Yeah, so that is a mindset shift, and it's going to help you love yourself more. So what we need to get there, we need confidence, y'all, and we need a sense of worthiness. And because what happens to so many of us is, like, at a young age, our sense of worthiness tanked. So we were feeling all good about ourselves. We were feeling, feeling good about ourselves. And then somebody told us that we were black and ugly. Somebody told us that our hair was too nappy. Somebody told us that our skin was too dark. Somebody told us that our lips were too big. And then our self-worthiness and our confidence tanked. And we've been compromising with that, like, subconscious belief for a long time. But we don't really truly embrace who we are, the gift of our melanin, the gift of our nappy hair, all the things, the gift of our thick lips, right? So we really need to get back in touch with our sense of worthiness and our sense of confidence. And the reason why is because as long as you have this vibration of I'm not worthy and I'm not worth it, all you can attract is more of that to you, more things that are on that vibration. And so until we change that vibration, we're not going to manifest anything that we want in our lives. We need to have knowledge and utilization of our Black girl magic. We're extra special, y'all. We're extra special. I know that you have been taught to believe by this white patriarchal society that being a Black is a deficit, being a woman or having a uterus, having a vagina is a deficit, having your nappy hair is a deficit, but actually it's your superpower. And I'm, like, not just saying that because it's cute. I'm saying it because it's real. So we need to understand our Black girl magic, what it is, how to utilize it, and how to make it work for us. And then finally, we need control and agency over how we make our money and who and where we choose to work. So the reason why I added that last piece is because you can have the first two, right? Be feeling confident, feeling your sense of worthiness, get in touch with your Black girl magic. But if you return to toxic white space where they don't value you, don't see your humanity, don't celebrate you, then all of it, then 1 and 2 just goes away. So in order for us to be able to maintain that sense of worthiness, that confidence, that Black girl magic, you need to have control over your money and who you are working with. Okay. So what we're going to cover tonight is the Black girl magic piece. All right, let me stop and check in. Good job with your, feel free to stay behind your camera. Part of Black girl self-care is keeping your camera up when you want to keep your camera up. But I also want this to be a safe space for you, meaning that I just was on a call with a woman who was getting her hair done. She had a little shower cap on. She had her locks coming down. And I say that because so often we feel like we have to look a certain way to show up. And I want y'all to just claim your space and just show up as you are and just be you. Thank you, Gay. Because this is your space. We're not in corporate America. This is Black girl space. Yay, good to see you. I got 2 of you. Woohoo! 3 of you. Oh my God, it's a revolution.
Hey, girl.
It's good to see you. Hey, Gay.
You too.
I just want to extend that to all of you. And again, do what you want to do. As far as, I have no problem if you keeping your camera up. That's part of your self-care, but also this is your space. So I'm going to be coming back and forth because I want to give you the information, but also, like, I love to connect with people. I don't want to be talking to some slides. All right, melanin. Your melanin is awesome, ladies. So melanin, what melanin does is it's not just anti-aging. A lot of times we think that melanin is just what keeps us looking young, and that's great and special, but it does so much more than that. It helps us connect to the cosmos. So universal intelligence, you can connect with universal intelligence because the cosmos are literally made of melanin, and it's the same stuff that you're made of. We have a mind-body connection because we have melanin in our brain, but we also have melanin in our cells. So that gives us the ability for our mind and our body to communicate faster, which would explain, our unique athletic ability or ability to dance, or, when it comes to things that are mind-body connection, we tend to excel. It helps you to repair cells. So cellular damage gets repaired through melanin. It fights infections, and that's great since it's, freaking COVID land for however long it is, right? That helps you fight infections. It helps protect your eyes. So darker eyes have better protection from the sun. It helps you to manifest because you, again, you're in touch with universal intelligence. You're also in touch with ancestral intelligence. So you're just so dope. You're in touch with the past and like all the intelligence of all things. And so that you get in touch with these things, but through meditation, through slowing down, through your dreams, all of that. But it connects you to all things in the universe and connects you to that intelligence that your ancestors had in the past. So it's amazing. It is way more than just anti-aging. It's pretty incredible. So if you learned something new about melanin, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'll look at the chat and see what's going on there. And yes, Deborah, mindset is everything. Yes, Gail, we have to change the mindset. Absolutely. But hopefully this will help you celebrate your melanin and then see too that like having Black blood in your bloodline is a benefit, and it actually strengthens your bloodline because especially with global warming and things warming up, you're going to need more melanin for protection. So melanin's amazing. We're so lucky. And there's so much more. Oh, let me go back. This book right here, Melanin Empath, highly recommended. Such a good book. The first part is all about the powers of melanin, and the second part is about our empathic abilities, because a lot of Black people were very empathic because of that connection to all things. So highly recommend this book. Yoni and menses. Before I get into this one, I want to hear about your experiences. So if you grew up hearing positive things about your vagina and about menses, can you let me know in the chat? So just if you did, just like say yes. If you didn't, say no. So what did you learn about your menses and your vagina? Did you feel good about it? Was it like, yay, okay, you did, oh great. Tiffany, no. Yeah, mine's kind of no too. Coach Latrice, yes. Crystal, no. Angela, no. Okay, the no's are winning. One of the things that I would love to see is like period parties, like where little girls could like really celebrate their menstruational cycle, because that's what we did when we were African. Coach Latrice, my mom said it was getting my superpowers. I love that. That's what I'm gonna tell my little daughter, right? But for a lot of us, our shame started with our period. And whether we were embarrassed by it, whether we got some stains on our clothing, people telling us that we smell like fish, just the shame around what our body does naturally, in addition to how throughout society, we just had to push through the pain. It's not like school gave you time off. It's not like your job gives you time off. Like the patriarch doesn't respect our cycles, doesn't care about our need to rest, and just expects you to keep delivering and keep pushing through. And when you're in that type of environment, it becomes easy for you to also discount your natural cycle as well, for those same reasons, because society discounts our cycle. So let's get back into our yoni. So the body keeps score. For a lot of us, like I said, we have reproductive health issues. And that starts with some of the shame that we have around our period and what our body does naturally, or our vagina, the shame that we might have around the way that the smell, the discharge, the shame we have around oral sex, the shame we have around our own sexuality, our own desire, our libido, our unhealed relationship with our fathers, unhealed relationship with the men in our lives, the way that we may feel unsupported. All of that manifests in your body. And it manifests in your sacral chakra. And that's devastating because your sacral chakra is all about pleasure and it's all about creation. And your sexuality. And so if you're trying to give birth to new ideas and give birth to new things, right? Because it's not just about giving birth to babies, but anything that you create, that's blocked when you have that energy. And for those of you who really have a hard time experiencing joy or pleasure, or you can't remember the last time you laughed or really enjoyed yourself, that could be because you have blocked energy in your sacral chakra, as well as if you don't feel sexy, sexual, creative. All of that is energy that is connected to your womb, connected to your menses, your uterus, your sacral chakra. So there's all kind of ways that you can heal that. And that's something that I teach in my coaching. And I'm really grateful for a lot of the transformations that are happening with the women that I am coaching. But here are some ideas. You can draw your yoni. In fact, do I have my drawing over here? I will show you my drawing. Hold on just one moment. I know you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see her yoni. I know you are, queens. So hopefully you can see that. That was a painting I did of my yoni, and I added the sparkly, right, sequin period blood. I wish it was sparkly like that. But you can draw your yoni. It's very healing, very therapeutic. You can use your yoni juice to manifest. So you can straight up take stick a clean finger, right? Clean your finger, respect your yoni, stick it up in your yoni, rub it on your third eye, and use it to manifest things that you want. You can do the same thing with your period blood. When you're menstruating, you are so powerful and very, very much connected to the spirit world. So it's a great time to manifest. You can go ahead, take a drop of your period blood, put it right there on your third eye, and meditate. And even more so if you do it at the ocean. So if you go to the ocean and do it, because our cycle's in alignment with the tides, which is so cool. Meditations, there's all kind of meditations online to help you heal your womb. You can just put your hand on your heart and your hand on your uterus and just like feel love from your heart going to your uterus and just ask for healing. You can just send love and gratitude to your uterus. And then the next time you have an orgasm, which I hope is very soon, goddess, use that to create what you want. So right before you're about to like explode, like think about what it is you want to give birth to in that moment, and use that power to manifest, because your orgasms give life. I mean, your orgasms connect the spirit world to the physical world. Like they're magic within your orgasms. There's magic in your womb. So use that to give birth to things. So I'm going to stop the share again. If you learned something, I'd love to hear it in the chat, or if you'd like to just share with us. Oh, mind blown. Deborah, you learned something. Where are you, Deborah? What did you learn, Deborah?
When you said you can take your yoni and take your menstrual cycle blood and put it in your temple, and I was like, what? But then I was like, okay. That's awesome. That's new information. It's mine. Okay. If I've done the tapping in that third eye, then my own essence would work. But mind blown, because I've never, ever heard that before. But I mean, that speaks to, when you see Indians or Hindu people with a red dot, that's like a symbol of that, because it's always a red dot. It's never any other color. It's always red. So, and it's the women that do it, or a lot of the times that's what I see. So that's that. My brain just correlated and was like, whoa, mind blown.
Yeah, I can't say if there's a connection between what the Indian people do, but either way, I mean, absolutely. And it's our essence, it's our juices, right? It's so good for us to reconnect with our juices and our essence, and to just honor it. And I did it. I tried it I was at the ocean. I went to the ocean, meditated, and it was a powerful experience. So why not? Why not? We got the magic. Why not do it?
Yeah, I mean, I love going to the ocean, so that's definitely something new to try.
Yeah, why not? And nobody will have to know what that red dot is, right? Is it paint? Is it lipstick?
Nobody. But I love it.
Thank you, Deborah.
Quick question: how did you feel when you did it? Like, did you know about it and you just did it, or did you just do it in a sense of connecting more with yourself?
I knew about it. I heard somebody else mention it. I watched a YouTube video, and I was like, okay. And then I was at the ocean, so I was like, all right, let's just do it. But it felt. I mean, it's hard to describe when you're in that space, right? Like it's inevitable. Is that the word? But the connection. I felt an alignment is how I felt. I felt an alignment, and it felt really good to honor my womb instead of fighting it. Because I feel like so often as Black women, we're fighting our nature. We're trying to acquiesce. We're trying to assimilate. We're trying to meet somebody else's comfort, but we're never really giving into what is good for me. So that moment felt very true to not only what was true for me, but like ancestrally, this is what my mothers, my grandmothers, this is what the ancestors were doing. They were meditating and connecting with their yoni. They weren't at the business meeting. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get us all back into, is like tapping back into our divine feminine energy, because there's magic there. Back in the day, all the menstruating women would get together, in the red tent, and they would have their visions. They would be connecting with the spirit world, and then they would come out of the red tent and they would tell the men, when it was going to rain. They would tell the men where the buffalo were, because they were connected on a higher level. And we honored women in that way. We respected the fact that they were more in touch with their spirituality during that time instead of fighting it. So what I teach my queens is, when they build their business, build it around your cycle, right? So there's times when I'm very I'm in my masculine energy. I want to give. I want, or not, I want to be in action, and I'm very social. But other times when I'm very receptive, I want things given to me. I want to rest. And so I shape my business around that. Whereas in the corporate world, we have to work around the patriarch and we never get to rest. We never get to honor our womb. So I want us to think differently about that. What would it mean to really cater to ourselves as Black women? And then what would it mean to shape our lives in a way that allows us to thrive instead of like acquiesce and get by and survive? I'm tired of surviving. I don't know about y'all. I'm over it. Survival's for the birds. I want to thrive. It's our time. This is our year. Let's go. So that's where I'm at with all of that. I want to move on just because of interest of time, but I appreciate you sharing, Deborah. And y'all can just get in there and share anytime you want. This is your time, queens. I know you don't know me like that, but still it's your time. Okay. All right. Yeah, another thing that I mean, if you really want to be next level with your whole menses and connection, you can use your period blood to paint a image of your vagina, and you can use that by using diva cups. So instead of tampons or pads, you can use diva cups that capture the blood, and that blood is so nutrient rich. It's so powerful. You really don't want it going in a tampon and going in a trash can. You're really not honoring your blood like that. So whether you're painting with it, like maybe you don't want to paint with it all the time, but you can give it to your plants. It's so good for your plants. And when you pour your blood back into the earth, there's that connection with Mother Earth, right? Like your essence is literally in the soil. So consider all the other things that you can do with your menstrual blood rather than letting it, be in a pad or a tampon, which isn't really good for the environment anyway. And then also consider what you're teaching daughters or other young women about their period. I'm going to say one more thing about your period. I used to have a skirt that I would only wear on my period. It was a black skirt. It had an elastic band, which was great because, a lot of times during your period, you're bloated and you don't feel comfortable. It was black, so if it had any blood stains, they're not going to show up. And it had this beautiful watercolor print that was like red and pink and kind of looked like blood at the bottom of it. And I saved it for the week of my period. It was a very beautiful, special, comfortable, powerful, like goddessy outfit that I could only wear on my period. And what that did is it made me excited for when my period showed up rather than dreading it. And so I think one of the things that we could do with our daughters and the young people in our lives is have something like that, whether it's a set of earrings or something special, a shawl, something special they wear only when they're menstruating, so that they can kind of change that narrative around, it's my period, I hate this week, I have to wear ugly clothes, etc. Right? So that's something else you could do around that. Spirit guides. So this is something that really saved me when I was feeling hated and hunted. And I don't know if you all can relate to that, but just I feel sometimes that we're the least protected women on the planet, so it can feel like, why leave the house, right? Like there's everything's out to get me. But what I learned about is guardian angels and our spirit guides, and that you can ask your spirit guides for the most benevolent outcome in all things. So for example, before this meeting, before all of us, before divine Black Goddess Rising class, I asked for a most benevolent outcome. And really, I wasn't even sure anybody was going to come, because I know I canceled the class and then I rescheduled it, and I didn't really tell people that much. So I was like, I don't even know if anybody's going to show up. But you can always ask for a most benevolent outcome. And a most benevolent outcome is the best situation for you. So what does that mean? That means that I might ask for the most benevolent outcome for this class and nobody shows up. And maybe nobody showed up because the people who were going to show up were going to be disruptive or cause some type of harm. And so my angel protected me by having nobody show up. And so it might feel like, yo, where are all my people? But I was protected. So that's the idea of most benevolent outcomes. I learned about this from a book called The Gentle Way, which is free on Audible Plus if you're on Audible. But you can ask, we all have guardian angels assigned to us. They're always ready and willing to help us, but most of us do not bother asking them for help. But you can absolutely ask them for help all day, every day, for everything. And what I did during my time of severe depression in December was I started to test this, right? I started to ask my divine, my guardian angels, for a most benevolent outcome, regarding this conversation I have to have with my kid, or help me find a parking spot when I get to San Francisco, or most benevolent outcome with helping me find this credit card. And it would happen, right? So when you test these things and you see that they work, then you start to build your confidence. So when it comes to spirit guide, set the intention of asking for most benevolent outcomes, set the intention of asking for their help. And this is all connected to God. Like, it's not any separation from God. Like, these are just God's helpers. Angel numbers. So angels cannot communicate with us. They're on a very high vibration. And because we're humans, we're low vibration. And so that's one of the reasons why we try to raise our vibration, is because all of the stuff we want is up there, but we tend to stay down here. So like meditation, affirmation, being in nature, all of these things help raise your vibration. So the angels are on a really high vibration. So they cannot communicate with us like, hey, like Sharla, do this. But they do communicate with us through angel numbers or through synchronicities. And synchronicities are when you were just talking about, those penguins from Riverdale, and then you turn on TV and then there's the penguins from Riverdale, and then you talk to your sister and she mentions the penguins from Riverdale, and you're like, what? Those are synchronicities. And that's telling you that you're on your right path, and that's your angels communicating with you. When you see repeating numbers over and over again, 111, 888, 777, those are angel numbers, and they're communicating with you. You can look those up online as far as what they're trying to say, but that's not by accident, right? So these are ways that your angels will communicate. In your dreams, a lot of us literally sleep on our dreams, but even through like ancient times in the Bible, like dreams were always revered, and we tend to just take them for granted and not even like think about, what did I dream last night? That's when your spirits can communicate with you, because you're not caught up in your cell phone and how your chest hurts and what am I gonna have for dinner and all this stuff that pulls you away from being able to hear their messages, because angels are quiet, spirits are quiet. So when you are asleep, it's the perfect opportunity for spirits to communicate with you. And so they'll do that through your dreams. And so if you're one of the many, many, many adults that says, I don't remember my dreams, or I don't have dreams, you can set the intention to start to remember your dreams, and you will start to remember them. You can also work with crystals. You can tap your crown chakra and your third eye chakra before you go to sleep. I take a third eye pill. It's a pill that helps you open your third eye, and that's been giving me more vivid dreams. But there's all kind of ways that you can really start to honor your dreams more. Also get a dream journal. You can ask for signs, like I said, and signs that are specific for you, right? It doesn't have to be generic, but specific signs. You can speak to your angels at any time, and you can always ask for benevolent outcomes. So my father passed in 2020. I do not feel sad about it, because I talk to him all the time. I tap into his energy all the time, and I still very much feel him. And he's so good. He's so happy in heaven. And so I feel like if we were more in touch with the spiritual side of life, we wouldn't feel so devastated when people transition, because they don't leave. They just change. So I'm going to stop sharing and check in with y'all. Oh, I'm so loving this. I appreciate you. Research around that. Yes, books. What's the book title? The Gentle Way is one of the book titles. The other one I mentioned was the Melanin Empath. Did anybody want to share based on what I just said?
Me.
What's up, Gay?
I was just listening to everything you were saying, and and then I've been thinking about you since the conversation that we had, and so much has happened since I talked to you. But I just want to focus on the couple of things you said about the menstrual cycle and things of that nature. And one of the girls in the chat, she was talking about her hysterectomy she had. Girl, let me tell you, the hysterectomy is the enemy divine. And that's why she said she doesn't feel connected, because I remember I was talking to my mom. I don't know how old you are, but my mom, she's in her late 60s. So I think she's like 69, 70. I always forget how old my mom is, but she was talking about that when she had that experience with the hysterectomy. But what happened was, she said that she realized after she did it, the connection was gone. It was like for a split moment, she really couldn't find her connection. But let me tell you, your connection will come back. And I believe that you're on this call, you're in this class so that you can understand how to get that back. I can't really tell you what my mom went through, but the things that Charlotte's talking about, my mom, when you were saying about we should celebrate this stuff, my mom had a party about periods. And she, when her cycle ended, when she went through her menopause, she had a party and gave us all her stuff. And she was like, listen, you gotta change it to the new way where you're not throwing your blood away. So how awesome is that? How you're like confirming some stuff for me too, because I learned that a couple of years ago, and I really never thought about it. I started doing what my mom said, but I never thought about why I was doing it. But the spiritual connection that I have in so many ways, it's like crazy, because I'm like, dang, my mom used to say that all the time. And I'm telling you, Charlotte, this is off the chain. Like, oh my God. So just for her, I wanted to let you know, the lady who had the hysterectomy, just oh my God, you're gonna be so open, girl, if you open your mind to what she's saying and us sharing this as Black women. Oh my God, I'm just so excited. But that's all. I just wanted to say that. And the book, the name of the book.
You have the cutest energy, Gay. I love your energy.
I love you, Charlotte, man. I'm telling you, listen, energy is, when I met you in the other class, I'm telling you, your energy is all that and a bag of chips. Like, even though I haven't talked to you in a while, I know that your energy is flowing through this universe to other women. Your energy is flowing right now. Look, all of our energy is connecting. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you about to help her. I'm telling you, about to help her. You about to help all us. We about to help each other. Exactly. Lord Jesus. All right, I'm gonna let you finish.
Well, I appreciate what
I love shared. Y'all, ladies.
I appreciate what you shared, because I wanted to mention that too, because I know we have a lot of hysterectomies in our community, and that's not by accident. That's part of the patriarch. It's racism. It's misogynoir. It's all of that, right? So just find a way to cut out our uterus. But here's the thing: that connection never goes away. It's not based on the physical uterus. It's the spiritual uterus, and you can just set the intention that you want to heal your womb area, and that will start the process. So intention is huge. I cannot stress that enough. Like, you don't always have to know the way. Just set the intention. I want the first step. Just what can I do in this moment? And that will start you on your path. Shifts will happen. Things will change. So regardless of whether you, even people who like identify as women who don't have a womb, you could still do the healing. You can always do the healing regardless. So thank you so much for mentioning that, Gay, because it's very, very important. And I'm glad that y'all are getting a lot out of this, because I want us to be well queens. We deserve all the good things. Hold on. I saw something over here about dreams. What did we say? I'm always seeing angel numbers. Yeah, great. So now you know what they are. It's funny because once you see them, once you start talking to the angels or start communicating with them, they will talk your ear off. Like, you'll be like, you just gave me an angel number. You giving me another one? Like, you'll be looking up so much stuff. So it's funny. Always try to analyze my dreams. Absolutely. Your dreams. Listen, there's people out there. I don't know if it was Twilight or Harry Potter, but one of those authors that like is a world famous author, she dreamt that. She dreamt it. It came to her in a dream. Another thing you can do with your dreams is you can ask yourself a question before you go to bed and then go dream on it. Your subconscious mind will keep working on it, and you might dream up the answer. So you better capitalize on your dreams. And then when you can do lucid dreams, I mean, you could have Idris Elba in your bed every night when you could lucid dream, right? I mean, like, it's the world is your oyster, right? So talk about self-care. So there's a lot of options there. I'm almost convinced to have a hysterectomy at age 20 due to having endometriosis. Yes, which is so common too, right? I'm so glad that you didn't. Yes, we're always trying to find a way to cut out our uterus and cut us off from being able to reproduce. All right, let's get back into it, lovely. Your third eye. All right, so it was during the Vietnam War that they started doing autopsies on Black people and white soldiers, and that's when they noticed that there was a honeycomb-shaped gland, which really your third eye gland. So they thought it was useless. They didn't really understand what this gland was, but they noticed that within Black people, it was twice as big than within white people, right? So white people, maybe it's like this shape, but for us, it was twice as big. And that pine cone shaped gland is your third eye gland. That is your connection to the spirit world. It's awesome that ours is twice as big. And if you think about that, like I think about people like Harriet Tubman, like she was somebody that had to have been spiritually in tune. She had to be an empath. She was able to read energy. Like she was utilizing her third eye gland. And throughout history, we've had to do that because we had to sense, are we safe? Right? We had to use all these extra senses to evaluate our environment. So anyway, your third eye gland increases your melanin. It allows you your ability to be able to sun gaze, and you want to be careful with this. You don't want to damage your eyes, but you can get energy from the sun. And in order to really utilize your pineal gland, it is most active between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. And so what that means is that it's only active while you are sleeping. So if you are awake during these times, I used to be a night owl and be up during these times until I learned this. You're not getting the benefits of your pineal gland. It's very active between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. And what you want to be is sleeping during that time. And that's when you can increase your pineal gland. And another reason you want this is because this is increasing your ability to protect yourself, right? As Black women, we're some of the least protected women on the planet. So your ability to be in touch with your sixth sense and be able to sense things that other people aren't conveying explicitly can be a life changer for you, as well as going to be great for building your business, relationships, all the things, right? So you want your pineal gland to be as healthy as possible. Regarding your diet, there are certain foods that calcify the pineal gland and keep you from being able to activate it. So for example, alcohol is not helpful. Sugar is not helpful. All the stuff that you already know. The fatty foods are not helpful. Drinking tap water is not helpful because it has fluoride in it. So you want to drink spring water. You want to have toothpaste that has no fluoride in it, because again, that helps, the fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. So these are all things you can do to increase your pineal gland, as well as tapping on it, putting gems on it, because it helps you to be in touch with it. There's certain crystals you can use to activate your pineal gland or your upper chakras. But yeah, you want your pineal gland to be healthy, and it gives you access to knowing. And then morning magic. We need to understand that our mornings are sacred. So here's what happens every time you go to sleep. Every time you go to sleep, you reset. So like, let's say that you were all freaked out and anxious, but I don't have enough money, and how am I going to get a job? And I have this health problem, right? All that's in your vibration. When you go to sleep and you wake up again, you are reset. And you have to go grab that stuff again to get back into that energy. Oh yeah, I'm scared about money. Oh yeah, I'm scared about this health problem. But the moment you wake up, you're not in that space. And so you want to take advantage of that opportunity, because it's a sacred space where you can program your mind and really get into your subconscious mind, because you're between awake and asleep. It's like this interesting state, and you want to catch it. And when I say catch it, like, you don't want to look at your phone. You don't want to look at your notifications. You don't want to look at the news. You don't want any outside forces impeding on your time. So in the morning, first of all, you can set the intention for your day. But before you do that, I would try to recall my dreams. So think about, what was I just thinking about? Sometimes I'll go through like my family members and feel like, do I feel like I was just talking to my ex-husband? Do I feel like I was just talking to my sister? Because if I do feel that way, I probably dreamt about them. Also, I'll go through like my family. I'll go through animals. Like, did I dream about a cat? Did I dream about a dog? Like, I'll go through different things if I can't immediately recall. And I'll tell myself, I remember my dreams. I remember my dreams, so they'll come back to me. And then write down anything that you recall. Because the thing about dreams is, you may not know what's relevant until later on that day, right? So like, let's say before 9/11, you dreamt about a plane flying into a building and you thought it was just some irrelevant dream, but then turns out that you were having a premonition, right? But you may not realize that till later on when you find out that a plane flew into the building. So write down your dreams, even if you think they're insignificant. Set your intention for the day before you let other people impede on your day with what they want and what the kids want for breakfast and what your boss wants and what your spouse wants. Screw all that. What's your intention? What do you want? What are you doing with your day? This is your day. So set the intention for your day. Visualize your day going well. Whatever it is you have to do, visualize that. Make a mental rehearsal of your day being super successful and everything working out for you, because you're drawing that energy to you. There's power behind that. You're utilizing your magic. Hydrate. Do not grab your coffee first thing in the morning, ladies. You just went, hopefully, 8 hours of sleeping without drinking. You need to immediately hydrate, preferably with hot, like lemon water, because that's going to activate your digestive system and help you to then prepare your body for whatever else you have to take on. But if you can't do that, just hydrate your body. Drink some water before you have your coffee, before you have your chai, whatever. Give thanks. Give thanks before you start your day, before you start to moan and groan about what's not going right for you. I mean, one of the things I give thanks for is that no crazy person woke me up in the middle of the night, in my house, right? Like I got a good night of sleep because and no one robbed me last night. Like my car is still parked outside. I'm not in any pain. I'm in my right mind. Like I'm still beautiful. I'm still smart. I still have scarves. Like give thanks. Put your mind in a place of gratitude, recognize how lucky you are. The fact that you have electricity, you have the internet, you have running water, like there's so many things we take for granted. You can spread universal love. So just spread love to everybody. I was spreading love to everybody who delivers stuff to my house. I get deliveries all the time, and just spreading love to them, spreading love to the truck drivers and manufacturers, all the families, but just like that exponential just love that you just send out from your bed before you've even gotten out in the morning, before you've even like started your day, just sending love out into the world. And then side note, right? So you can absolutely label, right, anything that you're going to put into your body with what you want to manifest, and then drinking that, right? It's a powerful manifestation technique. So I'm going to tune out, check in with y'all, see what's going on with this chat. I'm grateful my partner talked me out of it. Yes, we now have 2 young Black kings to raise. That's wonderful. Yeah, that is wonderful, Angela. What are your thoughts about, what did we just share? Your thoughts about your morning. So first of all, are you utilizing your mornings currently? I know for a lot of women, they aren't, and they're immediately dealing with the demands of other people. So how are your mornings going? I don't remember the last thing I talked about, but just based on what I shared, what are some of your thoughts?
Can you hear me? Hi, I'm Karama. This is one of my first times and I joined late. But what I heard when I did join late was just some confirmation. The picture of Tracy Ellis Ross with water with something written on it. It was like, that's right. I'm supposed to be speaking life into my water and what I want so that it nourishes and feeds me with that. That's right. When I wake up, stop just grabbing my phone and making tea with your water. You have a water bottle on the side of your bed. Why are you not drinking that? Like, it was just like some confirmation for me and reminders. And so I'm really grateful because I get off work at a time where I'm always like, darn it, I missed the master class again. But something just clicked in me today and was like, hit click. And I just hit click and I'm here. And so it's where I'm supposed to be. So I'm just grateful, even if I joined late, that what I got is what I was supposed to get when I was supposed to get it. I'm such a firm believer in that. So I'm just grateful that I came in when I did, because I got the knowledge about the pineal gland and the water and the star.
And the water and the... You're finishing a sentence, Karama. Did you want to finish?
Oh, I'm sorry. I might have cut in and out. I was just saying that I'm just really grateful to be here because I got lots of confirmation.
Right, and we're grateful to have you. And some of the things that you missed, I'll recount really quickly. But your melanin is magic. It helps you connect to the cosmos. It helps you connect to universal intelligence. It's not just anti-aging. It helps you fight infection, helps repair cells. So you can utilize your connection to all things when you meditate and allow some of that universal intelligence to come through you. And then we talked about healing our relationship with our yoni and our sacral chakra and our womb, because we have a lot of unhealed energy there that manifests as reproductive health issues. It blocks us from being able to give birth to new ideas. It blocks our creativity, and it blocks our ability to receive pleasure. And Black women, we need way more pleasure. Y'all need like all the oral sex you can get. Yes, I said it. And then we talked about how you can use your yoni juice to manifest. So just your straight up yoni juice, put it on your third eye, manifest. Use your Menses blood. If you still have Menses blood, you can use that to manifest. because our menses and our womb allows us to connect to the spirit world. I mean, your womb is the universe. We connect from the spirit world to the real world through our womb. And whether you still have your wombs, we talked about with the hysterectomy, whether you have your womb or not, you still have that magic. So it's not about like, they took away my physical womb, that your magic doesn't go anywhere. So all of that is going to allow us to manifest more of what we want to see in the world when we heal our divine feminine energy. So you'll see the recording, Queen, but I'm glad you came for what you came for. All right. Oh, yes. Spend time in nature. So I don't even have any words with this one other than there's no text. Nature. First of all, nature remembers our divinity. So society wants to pretend like they don't know the Black woman is divine, but nature knows that we are divine. I don't know if you all can relate to some of this, but I have a special connection to plants. You might have a special connection to plants. I have a special connection to animals. Like animals vibe with me. Birds like me, just interesting experiences, really spiritual, magical, uncanny experiences that happen in nature. And so we need to spend more time in nature. And one of the things I love about nature is that nature looks like us. When I see these trees, they look like, our ancestors. The trunks look like their limbs. Like, it's very validating to be in nature. Nature also is an example of abundance. So part of the myth of white supremacy is that the myth of scarcity, and white people are very much entrenched in this belief that there's not enough of anything, which is why they wreak havoc upon the world. But the reality is that the world is abundant and there's a ton of everything. And when you're out in nature, that's confirmation. And so it helps you to shift your mindset from how am I gonna get this money? How am I gonna get this man? How am I gonna get this job? How am I gonna get this relationship? To there's abundance, there's plenty of everything. And you can see that abundance too, like little side note, but like even like your pile of laundry, your pile of dirty dishes, your stack of mail, that's still abundance. It may not be the abundance you want, but it's still representational of abundance. So it's everywhere. So spending time in nature lowers your heart rate. The color green is naturally soothing and helps calm us. Just being in sunlight helps us recharge our melanin. And I truly believe that a lot of our mental health issues are exacerbated by how much time we spend indoors. Part of what I've been able to do, having my own business and really shaping it around my well-being and my mental health, is I spend an hour to 2 hours every day outside. And I was able to do that all of 2021. And that was such a game changer for me, because nature is naturally healing. So if you don't spend time in nature now, and I know for some of you it's cold, but get out in nature, especially in the morning. If you can take a walk in the morning, it's really healing. Or anytime you're just stressed out. Like I tried this myself. I was super stressed out about taxes or something. And I just went for a half an hour walk and my whole mood shifted. Same thing with my kids. I think we were all getting on each other's nerves and we just went for a walk and everything shifted. Like nobody apologized, right? Nothing changed, but just being outside. So spend time in nature. It's very, very healing. I'm checking with you here. Any thoughts about that? Do you already spend time in nature? Do you have a special connection with the plants and the animals? Do you like going to the ocean? Do you like being in moonlight? I'm gonna be quiet and see if any of you say anything.
The birds live in my air conditioner forever. I've always had birds in my yard. I've always had just every animal. I swear there's been every animal in my yard. Since my kids were little, my daughter used to bring home animals from school in her book bag. One time she picked up the wrong kind of animal. I was like, girl, she picked a squirrel up. The squirrel had got hurt. So the squirrel wasn't moving. But when I saw it was a squirrel, I was like, oh my goodness, there's a girl. But she loved animals. And that's what she wanted to be for a long time. She wanted to be an animal doctor. So yeah, we always had animals around the house. She has animals now. She's grown. So yeah, I connect with the animals. Yeah.
And if you wanna connect with the animals, if y'all want to utilize your Black girl magic, animals think in pictures. So when you see an animal like a squirrel, a cat, whatever, you can introduce yourself to the animal first in pictures, and then you can share in pictures what you were doing. Right? Keep it simple. Right? The animals don't want all the details, but just keep it simple. And then sometimes the animals will communicate to you through pictures as well. So one of the things you can do with animals is you can also show them your kids, because they will often show their young to you. So you can show them a mental image of your children. They might show you a mental image of their children. But I mean, maybe I'm full of crap, maybe I'm not, right? But why not try it, right? Why not try it? So if you already have a special connection with animals, that's part of our magic, because there's something called wordlessness, where you're able to communicate without communicating, and able to communicate without words and just connect. And that's part of our magic as Black women. So I love that. I see, Simeon. I hope I said it right. Your name is so pretty. And I don't like messing people's names up. Honestly, my favorite time of day is when the moon is highest. Only issue is I should be asleep. I know, right? I love walking on the grass barefoot. I was at the beach early. I love the beach. I was there earlier. The beach is very good for regulating our tides. I think that's Tara. Hey, Tara, I know your number now, 19546. The beach is very good for helping us to tie into our feminine energy, to tap into regulating our hormones and our cycles. We are connected to the tides and the moon. So that's a great way, if you ever want to just tap into your divine feminine, go to the beach. Walking barefoot on the grass is a great way to ground yourself. So if you're ever feeling like too anxious, your energy is like up here but in a bad way, and you need to feel more grounded and more in touch with Mother Earth, you can just take off your shoes and put it in the grass and ground yourself. That's another thing that you can do when you're jet lagged too, when you're flying through different time zones and you feel ungrounded. Just put your bare feet in the grass. That's wonderful. And then also utilizing the moon. So the full moon is a great time to release things, to forgive things, to write down things that you want to get rid of and to burn them. The new moon is a great time to create things, to birth things and bring them into existence. So definitely utilize your connection to the moon, because we're so magical goddesses. All right. All right. Oh, so I want to recap before we wrap up. So again, melanin, this is all about your mind-body connection. We have excess melanin from our skin that's also in our brain and in our cells. And so that makes our ability to communicate with our brain and our cells fast. That's why we're great at dancing. We're great at athletic things that show athletic ability. Helps repair cells, helps fight infections, protects your eyes, helps us to manifest because it connects us to all things in the universe and ancestral intelligence. And again, the cosmos are literally made of melanin. And again, this book is a great book if you want to learn more about melanin. Yoni and menses, your body keeps score. So when we have these negative experiences regarding our sexual organs or sexual assault or any type of assault on us as women, our body keeps score. So we see a large number of reproductive health issues within Black women that are directly related to that baggage. So, and other trauma. So trauma around our period, trauma around the way that we feel about our vagina smells, trauma around hysterectomies, trauma around a childbirth, all kinds of trauma related to our reproductive organs is blocking our ability to feel pleasure, to create, and to enjoy our sexuality. So some of the ways that you can heal that is drawing your yoni, using your yoni juice to manifest, drawing or meditating with your menses blood, doing meditations to help heal the womb. And there are meditations for people who've had hysterectomies as well. Putting your hands on your heart and your hand on your uterus, sending love and gratitude to your uterus and your yoni, and then using your orgasms as a source for creative power. So the next time you orgasm, next time you come, think about what you want to manifest during that time, because your orgasms are very powerful. And again, I coach on all of this. I want to be very candid. I have a business and I would love to have some of y'all as my clients. So these are all things that I coach on. This is one of the three aspects. So I coach on self-love and worthiness, Black girl magic, and then how to build your business around your wellness and have peaceful profits. With your spirit guides, set the intention that you want to be in touch with your spirit guides or your guardian angels. Repeating numbers are angel numbers. You see the same number over and over again, your angels are trying to communicate with you. You can look them up online. Minx Diva is somebody that I follow on YouTube. Minx, M-I-N-X, and then Diva, like D-I-V-A. And she's great for angel numbers. She's a dark-skinned Black woman. Your dreams, do not sleep on your dreams. Your dreams might be trying to communicate with you. They might be trying to warn you about something. Back in the day, we really honored our dreams, but because we live in this masculine patriarchal society, if it's not tangible, it's not real. If you don't remember your dreams, you can set the intention to start remembering your dreams. You can ask for signs. from your angels, from your spirit guides, and in a way that's very personal for you. You can speak to your angels and your spirit guides, and you can ask for benevolent outcomes for everything that you do. Get in that. For Black women, I highly encourage you to ask your angels for guidance a lot. And that's part of that is just for you to get in the habit of asking for more help, because we tend not to ask for help. So ask for your angels for benevolent outcomes. Your third eye is your pineal gland. It is twice as big in Black people than it is in white folks. This helps increase your melanin, and it gives you the ability to sun gaze. It gets energy from the sun. Again, be careful with this so you don't damage your eyes. You want to be asleep between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. That's when it's most active, but only if you are sleeping. You want to do things like get rid of the fluoride in your water, so don't drink tap water. You want to have toothpaste that has no fluoride in it, and you want to watch your diet, so things that are sustaining, like the alcohol, sugar, high fat, all of that is not good for your pineal gland. And it gives you access to knowing, right? So you want to enhance your pineal gland. Morning magic, utilize your morning. Oh my God, folks, utilize your mornings. Do not immediately look at your phone. Do not turn on the news. Do not cater to everybody else's needs. This is your sacred time. It sets the trajectory of your day. And if you screw this up, your day can pretty much just tank. But if you do it right, your day can be really magical. So set the intention for your day. But before you do that, recall your dreams. Hydrate before you caffeinate, y'all. Visualize the day you want to have. Give thanks for things you don't even think about, right? Give thanks for the fact that you have eyelids. Give thanks for the fact that you're not in pain. Give thanks for the fact that you don't have bed bugs. Like whatever, just find something. Spread universal love before you even get out of bed. Just spread love to other people. Label your water. Everything that you ingest, you can label it, because that's a very powerful manifestation technique. And then spend time in nature, because nature remembers your divinity. It lowers your blood pressure. Your breathing gets deeper. The color green is soothing. It reminds you of abundance, and it will change your mood. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second, check in with y'all, and see what if there's anything that you would like to share. I agree with asking for help, especially when you're not used to it. I'm going to add to that. Every time y'all go to the grocery store, I don't care if all you bought was a package of floss. When they say, do you want help out to your car? The answer is yes. Okay. The answer is yes. And again, just get in the habit of receiving help, because we are so conditioned to not ask for help, to not receive any help, to not expect any help. And so that it becomes part of our limiting beliefs. So every time someone asks you for help, catch yourself and say, yes, I will take that help. Yes, you can carry my floss to my car. Like, what would a goddess do? A goddess would get somebody to carry that floss to her car. That's what a goddess would do. Start treating yourself like that, okay? So is there anything that anybody wanted to share? Yeah, I see you, Tara. Yep, 100%, that's right. All right, for some, if you do want to share, you can feel free to interrupt me, and I'll open it up to you. It's no problem.
I want to share again.
Oh, good, share.
I'm not driving now, so I'm more stable and able to really listen. Again, this is just so much confirmation for me. So I touch myself and I'll be like, I'm going to get large lump sums of money, like totally. So I was like, yes, I'm glad she said that, because I've been learning about that. I even did that with a person, and he was like, what did you say? And I was like, don't worry about what I said. Like literally, or like, oh, big money. And he was like, what? Nothing. You just do, I'm just using you for my manifestation. Finish up here, buddy, type thing. But so like, thank you again for these reminders. And I'm trying to get away from the westernized mind, right? Oh, menses to draw it. But I'm like, I've heard about this, and I won't even front. I've been like, that's white people shit. Because it was originally white women, because a lot of them, they're culture vultures. They've taken on some of our ways and our practices, and it's Wicca and it's Wiccan and all of these things. But no, you were being hung at the stake because you guys were listening to African spirituality, but that's a whole nother talk show, right? But so hearing that, It's like, okay, all right, don't be nervous, don't be scared. Start with a little bit, but you can't. There is some power in that because a man touches it, you got a problem with him. It's going to be hard to get rid of him. I know for a fact. You don't have to put it in no freaking spaghetti. You just got to be the fool to put the towel down and let him enter into your body. Now you can't get rid of this fool, and you wonder why. Like, I know, I just picked up money from him. Like, I'm not even going to, I just picked money up from that person. And the honest truth is, he takes whatever I dish out. And I'm like, dude, because I'm still busy trying to break that tie from him because he touched my menses over 15 years ago. Do you understand me? So I know that it's real. It's real, and I haven't broke the tie. I'll go away for 5 years. When I pop back up, hey, hi, how are you doing? Do you need anything? And it's like, dude, for real? Like, and then he doesn't believe it because he has this westernized mind, blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to say that that's real deal. Everything happens for a reason. I'm just glad I'm here today. Thank you.
Sis, where are you calling from?
I'm in Washington. I'm in Tacoma, Washington.
Okay, well, it's great to have you. Your energy is fire. So thank you for showing up. We appreciate you.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Does anybody else want to share? I know that's a tough act to follow. You don't have to be as funny as Karoma. Karoma, did I say your name right? I hope I did. But if anybody else would like to share.
Karama.
Karama.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Her energy is so bomb, and everything she said was true. I mean, at least about the menses, but that's a whole nother topic. But man, I really enjoyed everything I heard today. I enjoyed the community of women that are just kind of gleaming from the fields of knowledge about different things that we learned and sharing our knowledge and our experience. My question is, I have a coaching business myself, and what you said about having your business wrap around your menstrual cycle, how is that? Because I'm a breastfeeding mom, so my menstrual cycle comes and then goes and then comes and then goes. If I breast pump produce a lot of milk, then for some reason I won't have my menstrual cycle. And then if I breast pump not as often, then I will have my menstrual cycle, or at least for the full 4 to 5 days. So how does that work as far as wrapping your practice or wrapping your coaching business around that?
That's something that I'm about to get into, and that's something that we can definitely speak to. So again, I have a business, and what I do is I coach Black women through self-love and worthiness, Black girl magic, and then building their business. And it's all about having the right tools in place. So for example, I'm somebody who is neurodivergent. I come across as very extroverted, and at times I am, but there's times that I'm not, right? So there's a way that I've constructed my coaching practice where I can still serve my clients, but also take really good care of myself. And first and foremost, you have to start with knowing who you are and what you need, right? Because self-care is more than just getting your nails done and getting a massage. Like self-care for me is I don't start my day till 11 p.m. 11 a.m. because I need 3 hours to myself. That's how I get down. I need 3 hours to myself before I can deal with anybody else. So that's part of my self-care. Part of my self-care is I do an hour and a half outside in nature because that's something that I need as well. So it's all about really getting in touch with who you are, what your lifestyle looks like, and then constructing your business around your needs. Because what we're conditioned to do is construct our lives around the needs of other people. So for example, the queen I was just spoke to before our class, she was talking about how she is a night owl. She would rather start her day in the afternoon and stay up late. But her job has her starting her day at 8 o'clock, or she feels like because she has these clients on the East Coast that she should be getting up earlier. And again, you're catering to somebody else's agenda when nobody's looking out for you as a Black woman, right? So for me, my day starts at 11 a.m. I have East Coast clients. I know that's 2 o'clock for them, but it's about what works best for me. And if my times don't work for them, well, there's 50,000 other people on the planet. There's only one me. Right? So I have to preserve me. I have to look out for me. It has to be centered around me. As a breastfeeding mom, your baby ain't gonna wait. Your baby don't care about your clients. Your baby don't care about all these other things, right? You have to cater to that. So there's ways that you can construct your business so that you can cater to the spontaneity of your life and still meet the needs of your clients. It's just about, first of all, you have to get to know what does that look like, right? What exactly do you need? And for a lot of us, like I said, we've been so conditioned to meet the needs of other people that we have to peel back those layers to get back in touch with who am I and what do I need? And that takes a while. If your cup isn't overflowing, you have nothing for them. Exactly. So let me get into what I have for y'all. So for some of you, this was enough. For some of you, you're going to take this, you're going to run with it. You're like, I got everything I need. I'm doing great. But for others of you, you know that you need more and you know that you need more support. So if things don't change for us, we're going to continue to be dealing with the sad part of being a Black woman, right? We're going to continue to make not enough money. $40,000 on average is poverty. Having stress-related health problems is killing us. Making $24,000 as entrepreneurs is depressing. Being unmarried when we want to be married is depressing. Dealing with obesity and our suicide rates climbing and feeling unprotected, all of that, it just stays the same, right? And I'm committed to 2022 being the year of the Black woman and for us making a big change. So if you know that you need more, I have more for you, right? And I love this. You cannot stop a queen who has a universe inside of her. And that's what we have through our melanin. So the invitation, this is the year of the Black woman, and we're coming for everything the ancestors were promised. And so what I have for you again is I have my coaching package. My queens right now are having such amazing transformations. Besides that they're getting to know themselves and revamping their businesses and all of that, one of the things that I'm most proud of is one of my queens had a healing relationship or healing conversation with her mother. And she disrupted some generational trauma in her family. And that to me is more important than the money my queens are making, the business that they're starting, all of that, just knowing that that type of healing is happening in our families. So yeah, I start off with confidence and worthiness because again, we have this vibration of I'm not worthy and I don't believe in myself. And you cannot manifest any good in your life if that's the vibration that you have. So first and foremost, we raise your vibration. Then we tap you into your Black girl magic to make sure that you are utilizing your powers and your gifts to create the life that you want. And then we build a profitable online business that prioritizes your wealth and your mental health. So what I'm offering is that the first 5 people to book a call with me, you will receive an additional 30-minute one-on-one self-love and empowerment coaching session or a business strategy session with me. And so during our time, so let me tell you, first of all, when you book a call with me, you will walk away from that call feeling better about yourself. You will feel inspired. You will feel empowered. You will feel confident and you will be in a better position than you were before you got on that call with me, regardless of whether or not you sign up with me. That's something that I feel confident in saying because that's the experience that my queens have shared. In addition to, when you book that call, you're going to receive this 30-minute one-on-one session. And you can use that in one of 2 ways. So if you really want to focus more on your self-love and your empowerment and really work on raising your vibration, we can do that. Or if you're really curious about how can I create my own business, especially how can I do that around shaping my wellness and my life and have all the freedom I want and make really good money, we can talk about that as well. So you have a couple options there. And then in regarding next steps, I would love for you to come to my next event. Work for me. Is it gonna work? Yes, yay, it worked. Can you see that though? You probably can't see that. Let me see, hold on. So my next event is, my next event is actually next week, and it is Self-Love for Badass Black Women. I'd love for you to come to that event. But I have another 3-day event that I'm super excited about, and it is in May 20th through the 22nd. And really, it's going to start on the 19th, and it's going to be longer than 3 days, but we're going to call it 3 days. But it is a fabulous, amazing, epic, free online event. If you are looking to become an entrepreneur, or if you're already an entrepreneur, but you want to just have more joy. So for example, I have a queen right now. She is an entrepreneur already, and she was doing DEI work, diversity, equity, and inclusion work. She's making good money, but she really hated it. And she was not living in her truth. And she was not excited to do the work and just taking on these contracts because it was what she was used to doing. She's pivoting into something that really brings her joy and something that really satisfies her and allows her to be free. And that's something that we'll be able to unpack together. So if you're somebody who already has a business, we can figure out how to make your business more pleasurable for you and how to make easier money and how to pour self-love into yourself. So this is a really great event. The first 33 Black women to register are going to be free. The last time I checked, I was at 27. So I think I have about 7 more. No, is that what I'm on? 5 more spaces left. So jump in there and get with that. I would love for you to be part of that. I don't know when I'll be able to do this again. I've never done it before, but I know this is going to be an epic event and you are going to walk away pumped and excited about starting your business and pouring more love into yourself. So let me go back here. I also have a Facebook group, the Divine Black Business Goddess. I will send that to you via email, so you can join that as well. I will be broadcasting more of my events to the Facebook group, so you definitely want to just be a part of that. I have a ton of resources in there for you to help you pour into yourself as a Black goddess. I have a YouTube channel, SharlaStevens and the Ancestors, a lot of great resources on there as well. And then on LinkedIn, I'm also SharlaStevens and the Ancestors. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to schedule the call. And this is normally where people would ask, try to sell you something, but I want to gift you with this call instead. So it's an opportunity for you to get some clarification on your business plan, get some clarification on how you can love yourself better and how you can utilize your Black girl magic. So are there any questions I can answer before we sign off? It was such a pleasure to see all of you. Hey, Robin, I can see your name now. And hey, Nets and Net, good to see you too. That is a great question. Let me go ahead and just put it in the chat as well. Let's make it easy, right? So the question was, how do we register for the 3-day event? So I'm gonna go ahead and find it and then I will put it in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow up with you via email. Within that email, you will see the link to be able to register for the 3-day event. You will see the link to be able to schedule a call and join my Divine Black Goddess Business Group, Black Goddess Business Group on Facebook. And that's the way we can keep in touch. And then also I highly recommend you come to Self-Love for Badass Black Women, which is next Wednesday, I think it changes to 5:30. It might be 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure. But even if you can't come, you'll get a replay and you'll get a resource. So I'm either going to include my self-love calendar or I have this new self-love pleasure bingo. But one of those resources you will be receiving when you attend that class. So are there any final questions I can answer for you? Any questions about the opportunity to work together? Anything I can address before we head off? Or one takeaway. That works too. Hey, Gay.
Hey, girl. You will not regret getting on a call with this young lady, this queen. I had the pleasure of being on there, and I still think about our conversation all the time. And I'm telling you, she's phenomenal, and she helped me with some things with my business. And she. Oh my God, just go on the call. That's all I can tell you. Just go on the call, and you won't regret it. And thank you for sharing everything tonight. I even learned some new stuff, so I'm excited.
What'd you learn?
I registered for the other class already.
What new stuff did you learn?
The new stuff that I learned about the with the nature stuff and just connecting, because like me and my husband, we've been married for over 27 years. Mm-hmm. So we had just celebrated our anniversary. So some of the things you were saying, we experienced like in different ways, like when you you never like really realized that's what was going on. And I'm like, oh wow, because he's always been like, some men are just like a little shy kind of type. Well, we first met, he was like that. So as we got in our our marriage, people would be like, well, how did y'all stay together? And they thought like marriage is not easy. Like if you with another person and you want to be with another person, you gotta love yourself first. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And that is for sure. But I know this man, if my house catch on fire, he gonna take me up out of here. Okay. He leaving no stones unturned. So yeah, I learned a lot just from, just you sharing that, because we do have to look through this third eye. It really helps because I'm telling you, the dreams that I had, like you helped me clarify that when I talked to you before. And this is just like just putting the icing on the cake for me when you was talking about the dreams. Cause I was like, oh my God, I just had these dreams last week. So I'll be looking for them numbers, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just awesome. So I just so thankful to be on the, this call and need to be on this masterclass with you because it gives you something and we're connected as queens. And we know that there is a connection that we can lose if we don't hold on to it. And I'm just glad that I was able to meet you and I'm still connected to you and I ain't going nowhere. You my sister for life.
Amen.
So
And,
queens on this call, please get on a call with her.
and I love what you said because that's what it all comes down to is that we need each other as Black women. There's nobody coming to save us. There's nobody looking out for us. And that's why I do this work because I was tired of pouring my energy and my brilliance into the white community. And when I really, it just like my sisters, nobody's looking out for us. Nobody's, and we crumble behind closed doors, you know what I mean? And then we put the makeup on and the hair on and we come back and we look like we have it all together. And in the meantime, we're suffering and I'm just, I can't watch it anymore. And so I told y'all I did anti-racism work with the schools last year. To me, this is still anti-racism work. By pouring into Black women, pouring into the Black community. What the studies show is that when Black women make money, we do this. We share it with our community. We uplift each other. We uplift the children. And if I want Black children to be well, I need Black women to be well because primarily it's Black women that are holding down the Black children. So it's a continuation of the same work. But this is what I teach my queens. I pivoted in a way that serves me, right? So I was doing anti-racism work. It did not serve me. The money was cool, but it did not serve me. Now I'm doing what I'm meant to do, and I'm living in my truth, and I'm very fulfilled, right? And I want that for all my queens, for you to have work that just soothes your soul and to have all the time and rest that you deserve to be your best and to not have to acquiesce. You got to take out your grill. You got to take out your cornrows. No code switching. Show up as you are and be appreciated and valued and highly compensated for the gifts that you possess. That is available to all of us. I can't say that enough. If you get nothing else from me, that is available to you. You do not have to assimilate. You don't have to acquiesce. You don't have to kiss any of these white people's asses. You can live 100% in your truth, be paid well, and have all the time you need. It's absolutely 100% available to you. Whether you work with me, work with somebody else, just know that, queens. I need y'all to know that. I don't want to hear any more sad stories. And I hear too many about what Black women are enduring. We really can't have it all. But it's the mindset, y'all. That's where the school got you. That's where the white man got you. He got you here. And now you think you can't do nothing without him. You think that you have to have the white man to co-sign on everything or you can't do nothing. And that's just not the truth. Madam C.J. Walker didn't have that. She was the first woman to be a millionaire in this country. And she had all the things against her. She made it happen. She wasn't caught up. So that's why the first thing when you work with me, this is the first place we start is the mindset. Because if you don't get your mindset in check, when you put your product out there, you're going to price it too low. And when people try to give you money, you won't take it. You'll push it away from you because in your mindset, you're not worth it. You're an imposter. That's your mindset. Jillian, I see you unmuted, Queen. Did you want to share something?
Hi, Sharla. I want to say thank you for the menstruation thing that you talk about, because I dread it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit.
Oh, you're breaking up, Queen. It's noise. It's a weird sound.
Sorry, I dread it when it comes. So when you said embrace it, now I'm gonna learn to find something to embrace it.
Yeah, think about what is something that you can do special for yourself. So, for example, maybe you have a favorite restaurant you can go to, or I don't know, something that you can buy yourself, again, a scarf, a perfume, but in some way that you can be like, "Yay, my period's coming! I get to go do that thing." So, do you have any ideas?
No, but I'll think of something.
Think of something, whatever you can treat yourself. Buy yourself a new book, some new music, a new vibrator, right? Like anything to just honor that time. I love that you're thinking that way though, Jillian. That's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Queen. And just setting the intention. Again, just set the intention. That will be step one. And once you set the intention, things show up for you. So thank you, Queen. Would anybody else like to share their final thoughts or a takeaway?
I have something to share.
Yay, Tara, right?
Yes.
Know your number, girl.
Hello, hello. So last week, something was bothering me. A situation was bothering me, and I know better than to like dwell on the situation. So I found things to make me happy. I distracted myself with the stuff that was going right, doing things that brought me happiness and joy, whether it was walking outside, as you mentioned, and all this other stuff. But anyway, once I released the problem, a solution came like effortlessly that was better than I had even imagined myself. So it's a matter of like really refocusing your mind on what makes you happy, what brings you joy in order to align with what it is that's your solution or what's supposed to come to you. So yeah, that was like, it was amazing because it literally like fell into my lap. Like it was nothing that I reached out for or nothing. It just like, it was like bomb, like somebody referred you, da 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 da. Like it was like that. So I was like, wow, because it was so unexpected. So that was my little
Yeah, that's not
tidbit.
little. That's big.
My huge tidbit.
Right? That's not little. So what Tara is saying is really true. What happens when you get stressed out is you're out of alignment with your creative center, because there's solutions to everything. There's an abundance of problems, there's abundance of solutions, but we are very limited, especially when we're stressed. We literally cannot access the creative parts of our brain that will allow us solutions, which is why you need to do exactly what Tara did. Leave it alone. Like stop over analyzing the problem. Go do something else. If you can't go for a walk, take a nap.
Yep.
Send your butt to bed. And then when you wake up, you'll be in a different mindset. And if you can stay in that mindset of stay in a good place, then you'll be able to access your creativity, and it will feel like, just like Tara said, it will feel like you just fell out of the sky, but really it came from you, but you were in alignment. When you're stressed out, you're in alignment with stress. So you have to de-stress to then be in alignment with the creative forces that are going to present the solution. Every problem has a solution. They come that way. The problems come with solutions, but we are out of touch with it. So I love that you shared that, Tara. It's so true. Did you want to share something else?
No, that was it. It was just literally I had to get out of my own way, stop thinking about how I'm going to fix whatever the problem was, leave it alone. And it came back with a solution that was even better than I imagined. So,
right. And the same thing you'll find when you become a business owner, y'all, it's the same thing. Like most of your business is not going to be sitting in front of your computer. It's all the personal development. It's when you're at the gym that the ideas come to you. It's when you're on a walk that the ideas come to you. You're making breakfast, you're making eggs, like, you're vacuuming. That's when you're like, oh, this is a really good idea for a business, or I should call this client. It's not grinding away at your computer. So that's something that I teach too, is like, that honoring what feels like downtime or like feels like unproductive time, but that's actually your most productive time. And it's again, it's a shift from that Western mindset of just have to grind all the time. Like grinding all the time is not good for you. It's not good for your mind. You're out of alignment. You have to feed your spirit in various ways. And that's when you can tap into all of the information that is around you. Right. So I love that. And that's, again, what I teach about, your divine feminine energy, which is very different from the hustle. I'm not into hustle culture, bro culture, crushing your goals, grinding all the time. F that. I want to take a nap. I want to drink a beer. I want to chill. Right. And so that's what I teach my queens is like, yeah, you can make your money. You can service all the people and do the things, but also the majority of the day should be yours. Right? Screw working 8 hours a day, work 3 to 5 hours a day, and only work, 3 to 4 days a week. And the rest of that time is your rest time, your creative time, your reflection time. So it's a very different mindset from what a lot of us have been taught as employees and working on somebody else's, 9 to 5 agenda, Monday through Friday. Like it's very different when you start to think about, what do I need? How would I like my day to look? How do I love, in what ways do I love to serve? Right? Because a lot of times, again, as Black women, we think work has to be hard. We don't think about, what comes easily to us. And then we think that we shouldn't be compensated well for anything that comes easy to us. Or we think that we should be paid hourly. I'm gonna say this last thing, I'm gonna wrap this up. Hourly pay makes no sense. I'll give you an example. My son can make breakfast and it will probably take him an hour and a half to make breakfast, and it won't even be good. I can whip up breakfast in 20 minutes. So if you're paying hourly, my son's about going to make 3 times what I'm going to make. and we're discounting my years of experience, right? My son, you're gonna have eggshell in your eggs. Your pancake's gonna be burnt. It's gonna be messed up when my son makes it, but it was an hour and a half, right? So hourly pay makes no sense, because as you get better at something, it takes less time, and you need to account for your experience. So when you're an employee, you think hourly, but when you're an entrepreneur, you think about the transformation. You think about all the experience. Like, I can say something in 5 minutes that's transformational, but that's 43 years of experience that got us to that 5 minutes, right? And that's very different from thinking, well, it was only 5 minutes, so I'm gonna pay you $5. No, that 5-minute conversation just changed your life. Transformational. So it's a different mindset. And the mindset piece, I just can't speak enough about it. It's huge, because if you don't feel good about yourself, don't have any confidence, don't feel good about, don't have any worthiness, then you can't stand in your power and sell to somebody. You can't say, this is what I have to offer. I'm the baddest bitch in the game, and you need to get with me and connect with me. You won't have that in you. And confidence is transferable. So if you come across all meek and insecure, ain't nobody buying from you. Ain't nobody separating their money, giving you their money, and you don't even believe in you. So that's why the mindset piece is huge. It's not just about go start the business. And also, I don't want you recreating the plantation. I'm really big about not recreating the plantation. We don't want 50,000 contracts that don't allow us time to take time off when our period shows up spontaneously, or when we have a health issue, or when our mom falls and we need to go take care of her, right? We want to be able to have a business that allows us to move in ways that we want to move, and not feel tied and obligatory to other people. So that's what I teach, is how you can do all of that. And that's what you're going to learn at the 3-day event. You're going to learn a lot of that at the 3-day event. So highly recommend that all of you sign up for it. And yes, book a call. I will send an email to you within the next 36 hours, if not sooner. And we can do our follow-up there. And you will get a replay of this class that will be available to you for a week. But if y'all are ready, if you feel like in your soul that this is what you should be doing, you will not regret working with me. I'm very confident in that. The queens that work with me are having such powerful transformations. What I'm thinking about is I should have charged them more, because of how soon and how big and how the advances that they're having. So if you feel in your soul, I'll give you this. If you died today and you know that you're dying unfulfilled with gifts that you have not given, then I highly suggest you book a call. And that is really what made me start my business, is I was having reoccurring chest pain that they could not explain. And my father had a history of heart issues. So I was thinking, I'm probably going to die early of a heart attack. And as I was reflecting on that, I thought, like, there's so many things I haven't said. There's so many things I haven't created. There's so many people I haven't serviced. I can't die with these things within me. And that's what pushed me to start my business and to start being unapologetic on LinkedIn and social media, is because I couldn't imagine being on my deathbed knowing that there was more to give. And so if you know that that's you, that there's just more that you have to offer, but you've been holding back for whatever reason, if you know that if you died today, you would die with regrets, I highly suggest you book a call and that we work through those fears, because on the other side of all that fear is the life that you've been waiting for. And I'm telling you that because I'm living it. I'm living it. After being a broke ass teacher, I am living it. So I'm going to respect my own time, queens, but I really, really, really appreciate all of you coming out, especially after I canceled that class last minute. And I apologize. On one hand, I apologize. I don't want to disrespect anybody's time. On the other hand, it's very important for us to see somebody else modeling, prioritizing their wellness. And my body was just like, we are spent. We are tired. Let's not do this. And I really wanted to honor that. So I appreciate you showing up for this event, even after I canceled the last one. And come to my next events. I am committed to Black women, and I hope you can feel that in my soul. I love y'all, and I want you to be well. All right. So I always have free resources for you. You'll see them in my Facebook group. And I'm going to say good night. If you want to leave something in the chat, like say like maybe one word about how you're feeling, or just say goodbye, it'd be great. Love you. Be well, queens. Thank you, Gay. Always great to see you, sweetheart. Thank you, Karama. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you, Netsanet. Thank you, Osimian. I hope I'm saying it right. It's a beautiful name. And thank you, Robin. Thank you all. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you too, Karoma. You were so funny. You're welcome, Julian. You're amazing too, Tara. Thank you. Thank you all. Goddesses, I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Look for me in your email. I'll talk to you soon. And follow me on Eventbrite.